Dear Master Zhen Yan and honorable guests, hi. It's a great pleasure I could present my study here. My name is Xinyi Xiao. Currently, I'm a Dean of International Affairs at慈济University and International College. Today, I would like to present you a quantitative study I have done to examine effects of慈济recycling program on older adults' physical and mental health. And the study actually was a kind of collaborative work between Darling Tzu Hospital, University of Southern California, University of California in Los Angeles, and Tzu University. During the past few years, my research focused on the role of social workers in addressing the challenge of environmental sustainability. One of the book chapters I wrote about the effects of Tzu recycling programs at multiple levels was published by the publisher called Rootleague. This book is about how social workers should respond to environmental challenges, and the editor at Hong Kong University actually made the comments. Among the 10 book chapters, Tzu recycling program actually set a perfect example for social work practitioners to respond to environmental challenges. And the results of the quantitative study, I'm gonna to present you in minutes. Actually, this manuscript was just accepted by Journal of Social Work Society and Research. We all know that with the increasing rate of natural disaster, a lot of people, like more than 24 million people, they were forced to poverty or environmental injustice. Yesterday, I believe that you have already seen this graph. On the upper right-hand corner, you could see that among the 1,000 decision makers in either private or public sectors, they were very worried about extreme weather events and the natural disaster because none of them could come up with a solution to address environmental challenges. And over the past 10 years, you could see the trend from your left-hand side to the right-hand side. Most of the decision makers, they were worried about economical risk factors. However, about 3 or 5 years ago, they started to worry about environmental challenges as the highest level of risk factors they are concerned with. And with the increasing aging populations, actually those older adults, they could be a large volunteer pool for addressing environmental sustainability and justice. However, in Western societies, most scholars, they found out that there are various barriers that prevent older adults to engage in environmental issues. Why? Maybe older adults, they don't have sufficient knowledge about environmental sustainability, or they're lacking of opportunities for them to be engaged with their friends or family members, or they are unaware of their opportunities for promoting environmental sustainability, or their unmet needs between the organizations and older adults. However, from my study, I'm going to show you that Tzu recycling program actually address most of the barriers that prevent older adults to be more engaged in environmental sustainability. As you may know that actually Master Zhen Yan made a public call 30 years ago to ask for more people to engage in environmental sustainability. Nowadays, there are more than 100,000 local residents as volunteers to engage in Tzu recycling program. And up to now, there are more than 1,000 community-based recycling stations globally. So, like Mr. Bruce Nuss just mentioned, those older adult volunteers, they work with dye technology, and they transform the reusable bottles into eco-friendly blankets for disaster survivors in more than 90 countries. For the results of this impact, a lot of studies, they use qualitative methods for disseminate the results. Today, my study, we would like to use quasi-experimental designs using longitudinal data from surveys and medical records to show you the effectiveness of Tzu Chi recycling program as an environmental sustainability model for social good. And our results will show you that Tzu Chi recycling program actually helps to promote older adults' physiological and psychological well-being in Taiwan. So the study actually used the data collected from 72 older adults in the southern part of Taiwan. So 36 older adults agreed to participate in Tzu Chi recycling program, whereas 36 counterparts, they were recruited at community-based centers. So we compared those older adults' physical and mental health in 1 year. So they were both age 60 and older. I know maybe it's hard to read this table. These are the quantitative results of the program. But here's a highlight of our results. So for the Tzu Chi recycling group who practice recycling at least one time a week, we found out that in 1 year, their compassion for themselves, for others, and for common humanity significantly increased in 1 year, whereas their depression improved, their hostility, affect, or suppression decreased, and their disengagement decreased as well. Whereas their counterparts, those older adults who didn't participate in recycling program, their self-kindness and self-compassion decreased, and they became more judgmental about themselves, and they care less about common humanity. And we also found out that older adults who participate in Tzu Chi recycling program, after 1 year, their blood pressure significantly decreased. Whereas we didn't find any significant results among those older adults who didn't join in recycling program. Frankly speaking, for the physiological results, blood pressure is the only one with significant outcome. And we found out that with these quantitative outcomes, Tzu Chi recycling program actually helped to lower older adults' self-judgmental attitudes, and recycling program helped them to improve their self-kindness and compassion over time, and they care about others, particularly the feeling of common humanity. And Tzu Chi recycling program helped these older adults to lower their disengagement. So we suggest that Tzu Chi recycling program actually help older adults to expand their social cycle through involving or inviting their family members and neighbors to join the recycling program. And Tzu Chi recycling program help these adults gain a sense of achievement, belongingness, and social inclusion. In the meantime, Tzu Chi recycling program also help them to improve their mental health through collecting, sorting, and moving activities. And in the meantime, their blood pressure increased as well. From our study, we didn't find significant results about social support, which is very expected. So we think that maybe the sample size is too small. So for the future studies, we would like to work with our hospitals to recruit more volunteers to join our study, maybe around 10,000 recycling volunteers. And for the future study, we would like to interview them to provide in-depth perspective of their experience of participating in recycling program. So the conclusion of our study is that Tzu Chi recycling program actually exemplifies environmental sustainability model for social good. And in the future, we would like to use mixed methods to examine multiple level impacts of the recycling program at individuals, community, and the national level. Thank you very much for your listening.